Hello, everyone. Well, do you know what type of diet you should take according to your constitution? Do all of us know what constitution we are? Well, that's what we are going to explore today with Ayurveda Doshas, diet, and lifestyle. I am Amita from Nourish Talk, a platform for natural and holistic therapies. Presenting this topic on Ayurveda Dosha and lifestyle, we have Prashant Patel from Singapore. Prashant is founder of Ancient Yoga Academy. He's a yoga therapist, mantra healer, meditation expert, and an Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant. Prashant has been teaching yoga and Ayurveda for the last 22 years in Singapore, UK, and India. Welcome, Prashant.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amita. And I'm very happy to come here in this platform, and thank you, users. And let me share and make it more try to interesting that how we can make use of this Ayurveda by knowing our born constitution. As Amita rightly said, that it is very important, and so many people don't know. And if you know, you can change a lot of things in your life. Not only it's health, but how you're going to basically live, and what kind of job is according to appropriate to you, or relationship, or maybe country, or maybe a certain particular weather. So let me go into a details and make it uh, interesting for you. So what is Ayurveda? Basically, Ayurveda is very make of two words. Ayur means life. Veda is the science or the knowledge. So you talk about science of life. And majority when you hear about Ayurveda, if you close your eyes, it comes the picture of maybe a Shirodhara or like a massage, or maybe you think of herbs, or maybe preparation of herbs. This kind of picture generally you will see, but that is not 100% of Ayurveda. Ayurveda, that is more about the treatment part. So when you talk about Ayurveda is the science of life, again you will find the origin of this similar time, the yoga or Patanjali time 5,000 years ago. And basically Ayurveda will talk about individual, and all the remedies and interventions are lifestyle interventions basically suited for the individual. So when we are living in the life, when we born and when we die, between the time we call life. So we are in this time period, we travel different phases, teenage to adult age, to we get married and we have a children and business and all those things. So every moment there is a changes happening in our physical body, our emotions, our psychology. So in that way, the Ayurveda can help each and every day, each and every moment, each and every stage of the life, because that's why it's called science of life, and it will help. And what is the objective? Majority people may think it's all about become healthy, but that is not only the objective. Why you want to become healthy? So that you can go and have a more purposeful life, and you can make that awareness. It's the same like how the yoga has that aim and objective. Is all the same, that you know your individual consciousness and then you connect with the higher consciousness. So by making more harmonized in yourself, mind, body, all your senses, including your breath. So I think this is the most comprehensive objective of the Ayurveda. Okay, can we have a next slide? Yeah.
Yes.
So majority, if you see the Ayurveda, it has a more three pillars, we call it as a major pillar of Ayurveda. Ayurveda always says about if we can balance these three areas, we are healthy, not only healthy in the physical body, but mind and soul. Ahar, we also call Vihar and Brahmacharya. That means food, sleep, and celibacy, or maybe how to use our senses more appropriately, basically. So, food, majority time, all these things we do more than what we need. So generally we have excess food we eat. Sleep, sometimes we have a less sleep. Nowadays, we have the way we are living in this world, it is very less sleep we are taking due to our work or due to a different time zone and all. And we don't have enough mastery over our emotions, mastery over our senses. So we just slave by our senses. So Ayurveda always says that there are the three pillars can help us if you can balance it properly, or you need to use it as it in a more subtle way. So that will be a fun foundation of our health, not only the physical way, but in an emotion and mental side. Okay, next. Now, if you see our body, how our body made of, it's called, we call Panchamahabhuta in Sanskrit. Our body made out of five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Ether is all about like space also you can say, or a universe that is also within us. So this five elements is very big topic in a way. So if each and every element it is representing a different personality, and when these elements will combine together in our body, that each and every element has a different functions, psychological functions, physiological functions, and that's how we will build accordingly. That's why we are all unique. Like Einstein used, theory says EMC square, all the matter has the energy. So Ayurveda already said before that every matter has the five elements. You will see whatever you will see that elements, you will have a five elements. All matter has the five elements. Only the percentage will different. So in you also you have a five elements, me also have a five elements, but the person is different, percentage is different. That's why we are different physically, emotionally, including the twins. Everyone is different. There is a slight difference. And that's where we develop our doshas. Okay.
Right. So let's go to doshas now.
Now, so Amita, it is very interesting because majority time people think dosha is a negative word. You know, it's like an imbalance or disturbance because we like to always balance. You know, we need a balanced life, balanced income, stable income. And when you heard about dosha, a lot of people ask me and complain me that, oh, why my dosha is imbalanced. Now we have to be understand very clearly that these five elements is comprises of this three dosha. So this is like a formula. Vata is a combination of the space and air. Pitta is combination of fire and water. Kapha is a water and earth. So there are like a three chart or three doshas. It is having a dynamic movements every moment in this body. So that's why it cannot be like a one line, because when you go to the ICU, you will see that the monitor is going up and down. That means there is a life. But if there is a balance, that means there is no life. So in order to live this dynamic life, we need to have a movement. We need to have that imbalance, or there is a change. You don't say maybe imbalance, but there is a constant changes happening. Right now also so many changes, so many blood cells is happening, changing, dying, creation happening. So this is why this dynamics energy, it's called doshas, and that is why it is a combination of these five elements. So these doshas, these three doshas, has its own, like you know how the organization have a different department like marketing department, production department, accounts department. So imagine this body as a company, and this vata is governing a nervous system or small and large intestine. So this is where they sit and work or office. And pitta doshas, it has governed all the digestive system and all the digestive organ. And kapha is more upper side of the body, is focusing on the more bronchi, lungs, and sinuses, throat area. So these are the three departments. And kapha is more focused and control and governing the respiratory system. And pitta is about more digestive system, very obvious because of the fire element. We all the diet we eat, it helps to digest. And vata is all about small and large intestine to movement. We'll do a movement for that. So these three looks like they have a separate functions and separate departments, separate stages, but they all work into a harmony. So if any, it's like a family. If the father has affected, the children and mother also get affected. So similarly, any of these doshas get affected or get imbalanced or aggravated. We use the word aggravated, either aggravated from its own default nature. You know, it's like a factory setting. When we born and we get aggravated due to our wrong diet, due to our wrong lifestyle, or maybe wrong country we work, and then or incompatible country or incompatible job, then it gets disturbed over the time. It won't happen in a so-called the short time, but it will happen slowly, slowly, gradually happens, and then it will affect particular system or particular organ. I would like to talk to more about a concept called Prakriti and Vikriti. Prakriti is, again, we just now Amita was talking about, do you know your Prakriti? Do you know your born constitution? Born constitution is, this is where we born, the dominance of this doshas. So for example, my body is Vata Pitta. So that means Vata, remember Vata is a combination of space and air. Pitta is a fire and water. So that means in my body, that particular element has a more dominance, more percentage. So based on that percentage, my physical look, my emotions, my behavior, my intellect, all this build up. I manufacture that in a way. So you can say that when you have a Prakriti, it is like a default setting when we born. And throughout these years of study, we do job, we go overseas, we travel, we do a lot of activity in this life. And today, let's say, I born in, let's say, 74 year 74, and now there is a difference in my body. Maybe I have some health issues, or maybe I have some disorder, that due to all my imbalances happen throughout the year. And current imbalance, maybe I have a, let's say, a joint pain. So that is where I call it a Vikruti, or imbalance in today's days. So what we need to worry about and check it out, we cannot change the Prakriti. It is like an operating system. You don't need to change that. But what are the software we install due to the lifespan? So we need to see, due to all this software, the system getting slow. And what we do when the system you format. Similarly, when your performance of that particular organ or particular system, it is getting affected, then what we do, we need to do a current imbalance happens. So then whatever the dosha is get imbalanced, we need to make them in a balance, or we make them into a factory setting. So whatever they go out of their own constitution, by lifestyle, by diet, by particular yoga, by particular treatment, depend how aggravated they become. So accordingly, we do a planning about diet or regime and everything, and then we make them a balanced day. Now let me go through one by one doshas so that you will have a very good idea. So in a general, a Vata dosha is all about, when you see a person like, these are the not perfect, but it is more generic characteristics. The Vata person is very tall and slim. You will see very obvious joint. You can hear all the cracking sound. So this is what you will see, the veins very obvious. They have a difficulty to gain weight. Yes, difficulty to gain weight. And there is a lot of irregularities in appetite. They can eat very regular time. I mean, they can keep always hungry and sweat. And sleep pattern, they will see a lot of dreams. And their sleep pattern is very light, like a dog sleep. So these are the very common generic bodily characteristics. When the Vata is in a balanced state, they are very creative. They are very quick thinking, and they can process the information very fast. But they function very easily. In that case, you will see all the musician, actor, actresses, performer, dancers. They come into this category, and they like to travel. understand that Vata is that which governs the movement, the space and air. So you relate the air element because air is always in movement. So when the Vata person has that dominance of the space and air, they have this kind of characteristics by nature. So this is the elements nature you will see in that person. So they like also multitasking. If you see Vata people, they always do some different multiple activities and they like to talk more. They have a very good social network and they can do a lot of, immediately make friends. So these are a very good quality when they have a in a balanced state. Vata is in a balanced state.
I
So
definitely have more vata, I think, Prashant. I'm just thinking out who I am. At the same time, when you're explaining some of the,
yeah. So it's very interesting because when
yes,
you see majority time we don't understand the vata and dosha this way. People always
correct.
talk about the treatment, but we need to see. So when what we need to worry is when the vata is increased, aggravated, it will go out of so-called home. Then what happens? It will increase the movement. Remember the wind. If it is a wind is very nice, you will enjoy. But 200 kilometers, 200 mile per hour, then it's scary. So that's exactly happening when the wind is going more into body. Then what happens? The movement is increased and it will create a dryness in the body, outside and inside. So what happens? The same person can think very fast. So what happens? The thought speed is going very increasing and they cannot catch up. So the speech, thoughts and the behavior, it is not in the synchronization. So by doing that, it will create a worry and fear, anxiety will develop, depression, loneliness, all this will start. So this is where we need to slow down the movement. And if you see nowadays, every one of us, we are living in the fast world. Everyone likes to do multitask. Everyone wants to go achieve the results very fast, want to make money fast, want to achieve the results very fast, everything fast, fast, due to the technology, due to this. So no one wants to do slow. And that is why today days, most of the people, we are affected by the aggravated one. So what is the solution? We need to slow down. Learn how to slow down. That's what we teach in yoga and breathing and meditation. Learn how to slow down. Because of this fast movement, what happens? Your skin become dry and we will have a skin related issues. Dandruff will start, eczema will start, joints problem. Remember, vata is a combination of air and space. Where is the space in the body? All the joints has the space. So air will go and sit into the joints, and then slowly you will find you have a pain in the joint, lower back pain, and so-called all the back pain you will start, headache you will start. So the best way to do exercise or yoga is the joint loosening exercise is very good for the vata person. You can just move it, all this shoulder, neck, all those things, you can move it. So we need to do this movement day-to-day basis. And if that is still not be controlled, slowly you may get develop a constipation and the gastric pain. Because remember that inside the intestine and the stomach, all the areas will become dryness due to the excess wind. So the mobility of the bowels will get affected. So the lubrication is no more there. So we need to be aware. So if you can intake a ghee or butter or oil, that will be good for Vata person to balance. Especially the warm oil. You can apply the warm oil massage and you can intake a ghee or any lubricated item. It will be good for balancing Vata motions. Now, Pitta. Pitta is a that which transform. Remember fire. So when you talk about fire and water, now this is where when we eat any food, maybe you eat vegetarian or non-vegetarian, it will transform into a energy. The final product is the energy. So the pitta body, you will see it's medium body. You will see the well-built muscle, and you will see bright eyes and very nice structure of the body. Their gum is very soft. Appetite is very good. The digestion is very good. and eyes very bright, very big. This is in a more physical attributes you will see. Emotion wise, they are also very quick thinkers. They learn easily and comprehend the things easily. They can explain very nicely whatever the concept is. And very hardworking, very goal oriented, self motivated. They are very aggressive also. So you will see all the managers, leaders, political leaders, they are the best example of the Pitta person. You know, they don't bother about anyone else. They like to do the things, they go for it. You know, self-driven. They are also adventurous, maybe in business or maybe in sports or any other ways. They like to uh, do a risk. They are a risk taker and they like to do challenges. They love challenges in their work, in their things, and they are very purposeful. They don't like to waste time in a way. So very logical, very way. So if you want to meet the person, you want to present, you have to be very precise, you know, and that you can see the typical Pitta kind of person. Another very good quality of the Pitta person, you know, they have an ability to transform the ideas into a reality, ideas to product. Not everyone has. Vata person have a very creative idea, but they have a difficulty to make it into ground. But Pitta person has the ability to make it happen, you know.
So
And
one question is, can someone be X% of Vata and Pitta, or it doesn't have to be right only Vata or only Pitta, right?
very good question. Yeah. So it is called dual dosha. So for my body, actually Vata and Pitta. So I have a true high. So majority time you have a dual doshas, either Vata, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, Pitta, Kapha, like that. Or you can have a dominance of one dosha also. But generally you will see a dual doshas. So when the Pitta is get aggravated, it is increase the heat and oiliness in our body. Obviously the fire will increase. So what happens, your thinking become difficult because you the same thing that the person can take the decisions and analytical power, now it become a weakness for that person, and that is why they become more frustrated with themselves and get angry and aggressive and frustration, and they become impatient and they don't listen anyone else, and they slowly they start becoming a self-critic. So they feel more suffocation inside that why I have done this, and so this way they can harm themselves, you know. So we need to and they have that so-called the senses also, they don't like to share this issues with other people. So it is very difficult that they are like burning themselves inside. So if you find the person, you have to make them open up and then they can share that to someone else, so that is easy to work out. What happens in a physiological side, the you know, when you are cooking, the fire is very important. If you low fire, the food won't cook properly, and if it is the fire is too high, then food will burn. So in the aggravated pitta, exactly that things is happening. The food is overcooked, so it is digested but the nutrition also get burnt. So it's like you are busy but you don't get paid. You know, you are working 1 month but you don't get money. So the body is working and digesting, but there is no nutrition absorption is happening. So due to the lack of nutrition, you feel weak. You don't generate the amount of energy you should generate. So that way you will see the ulcer, you will see the common problem, acidity, the acid secretions will happening, acid reflux you will see, and inflammation of the skin, rashes, boils, all this area and all the digestive issue, so-called organ will get affected with that by aggravated pitta. So what we need to do in a simple way, we need to be aware and reduce the heat. Try to avoid garlic and chili, the garlic and the green chili, especially in the if you already feel the aggravated, and do a cooling pranayama will directly help. And exercise wise, they for them is the swimming and the meditation is the best, and yoga, very gentle yoga. And if they want to do maybe a gym or something, when they get sweat they have to stop. because when they get sweat, it is the signal of the body is already reached that peak. In the other way around, when you see the kapha body, that which hold the things together is the earth and water combination. So if you see vata person is like a small, medium and large. So large is, you will see the heavy body about the kapha body, and that their physical body is little heavy compared to the vata and pitta, and they have a difficulty to lose weight, because of their appetite is steady, but their metabolism to digest the food is slow compared to vata and pitta. So by default, they have a difficulty. So and they, if they keep eating and then they have a difficulty to lose weight. Their physics is very good. They have a very nice eyes and nose, and like they are, if it is a female, it's beautiful. Then even the guy is very well built, muscle built. Very interestingly, although they have a super bigger body, their joints are very flexible and very smooth. So actually they can do a lot of flexible postures. Generally, when you see the heavy person cannot do a yoga or any other person, no, they can do much better than the vata person, because vata person, although they are skinny, but they have a difficulty to do certain posture due to the stiffness of the joints. And emotionally, the kapha person are very stable in the faith. So if they become your friend, they are lifetime your friend. They are very generous and they are caretaker and very grounded, and they are living for the society. And but they don't like changes. So if and they are very routine person. Like Sunday is the family day, and they plan very ahead of their work. So maybe some of them they already plan their holidays 6 months down the time, 1 year down the. They have everything planned, and if the plan change, they get disturbed easily. So this is where we need to be aware, and kapha person should have to have a flexibility and changing the plan. And vata person has to have plan, because they don't have plan at all. So it's other way around, totally different personality.
I was going to ask Prashant is that as we age, right, most of us have a problem shedding the weight, because the weight gets accumulated. As you see a 17-year-old girl or a boy versus a 45-year-old man or a woman, there's a change of the weight. So you think the overall doshas can also change over time? Like if someone is vata at age 17 or 18, but over the years, right?
So the dominance is the changing. So I'm coming to, I think, our next
Okay.
talking about that. So what happens, aggravated kapha, so it will increase the mucus and the stagnancy in the body if the kapha is increasing. So due to the excess mucus, the sluggishness of the thinking will start. Laziness will start. You don't feel like doing anything. You feel very tired and you feel, oh, today I don't want to do it. So you try to avoid the things and you want to just push the things for tomorrow, and you develop that attachment. And not only that, you like, sometimes you develop a greed and a dullness, and you don't like to move. So slowly you get affected and develop attachment in that particular room or particular house, particular situation, and that leads toward the depression. And this will slow down all the process, because they don't like changes, and generally these people don't like to do any activity. So they are like a sedentary lifestyle, so they accumulate weight very fast. And slowly their mucus, due to the increase of the mucus, their joints become stiff and they start developing an ama or the toxins in the body, and they're affected in the more breathing issues or the respiratory system. You will see the issues, and they develop a lot of so-called water retention in the body. So if you see in the COVID-19 situation, they are the first people who have more effect, because it is affecting their mucus and the respiratory system. So in order to do that, we need to do a lot of breathing exercise, and they have to actively, physically have to be very active compared to the vata and pitta person. They have to keep, at least go for the jogging, and they need to do sweat based exercise. They need a hardcore exercise, for the kapha person. So, and need motivation, basically. They cannot go their own. So you need to motivate. Even though you are teaching them in a yoga class, you need to see, okay, you have to help them into alignment and everything. Then they can be feel more comfortable. They are like a child. You need to take care of them because their heart and they are not, it's a different person compared to the Pitta person. Pitta person, you explain the posture, they are their own. And Vata person, you have to, is like a naughty child. You need to be maintained and make sure that they are doing what you are saying. So like a three child, this is how our dynamics of this body is happening. Okay. Now, if you see how you can relate with this yoga, because as I said earlier, that every one of us is unique, but we like if all of us have a headache and we take to take one Panadol, which is not the, it won't affect. Maybe some person need two Panadol, one person need half Panadol. Similarly, yoga, similarly, exercise, similarly, food, everything. It is a customized solutions. That is what Ayurveda talks about. One person at a time, one human being, one dosha at a time. So when you do yoga, so we need to incorporate a yoga such a way that you can switch the slide when you do the different breathing exercise, joint loosening exercise, sun salutations, yoga postures, pranayama, sound vibrations. So when you do, as I said, joint loosening exercise, breathing exercise, that will help a vata person. And vata person, you can have a music because you see, think about air. They like to, you cannot say vata person, sit down, close your eyes, focus your breath. They cannot concentrate. They will, their mind will go somewhere else. So you have to make them an active meditation. Eyes open and do meditation. Keep quiet and then maybe you can play a music or some kind of so they can. You need to engage them. Sun salutation you do very slowly, hold it and then you do it. If the kapha person you do very powerful sun salutation. Speed you increase. Pranayama, sound vibration, mantra, it is very good for the pitta person. So they need to do slow because they know their body is already built. So they need to slow down. They need to work on their mind and they need more relaxation. So in general, kapha person need more stimulation based exercise, sun salutation and very astanga, vinyasa, very hardcore yoga, power yoga for the kapha person, sweat based yoga. Middle Pitta persons, you follow the more sound vibrations, pranayama and relaxation, silent passive meditations. And Vata person, you need more active meditations, joint loosening, and micro and macro exercise. You can do like movement like this. These are the small exercise can help a joints and it will generate the heat inside the body. So that will help a Vata person. So the whole idea about this is you do a tamasic to generate to rajasic and sattvic. So ultimately you come into the harmonized state in your body. So work in that way and slowly you will see the difference. Okay. So as we are talking about, just now I was mentioning that nowadays you will see 75% of issues of the health. We have a problem with the Vata doshas. Then 15% is Pitta and the Kapha is 10%. Next, you will see that in a lifespan, Amita, you are mentioning that when you see the when we are a child age, you will see a more kapha related health issues. Adult age, you will see more kapha side, pitta side. And when we are getting old, I mean, even nowadays, this 60-90 won't work. Maybe start with the 50 also nowadays sometimes and get more vata related issues. It's a memory loss and all these things will start slowly. So we need to be very aware and we need to be engaged in a purposeful life so that we can harmonize this dosha very well. Okay, next.
So now I think the concept of agni and ama, which is critical for Ayurveda.
Yes. So the agni is we call digestive fire. So basically, people more cautious about what they are eating. They are spending a lot of money in buying organic foods and their preparation, and they are very particular about the ingredients. But they don't focus on how to eat. Actually, if you ask me personally, I don't bother what I am eating. I'm more focusing on how I am eating. Because if you have the world's best nutrition, but if you don't know how to eat, or if you cannot digest that properly, it's useless. It can become a poison also, or it may not generate the nutrition as supposed to generate. So when you develop how the agni is the digestive fire, so that is where we understand that pitta is governing that fire. So there are certain common ways we do a mistakes or in our day-to-day life, that where the agni is get disturbed, either aggravated or maybe low. In both case, it will have a disturbance in our digestion. So sometimes we don't know our doshas, and we go and eat outside with our own without our constitution awareness. Habitually, we are eating the same food again and again, or overeating the tasteless food sometimes, or drinking too much water while eating. This is a very common problem people have. And in West also, there is a concept whenever you order a food, oh, what drinks you need. So always there is a drinks. So this combination is not good, because the fire is there and you are drinking. So the fire is gone. So generally you eat when you want to drink any drink, especially a water or cold drink or normal drink, after half an hour is the best time. So while eating, you should not have. Yes, if you want to eat like a soup or any hot drink, that is fine. Staying late, eating irregular times, it is also affect a disturbance of agni. And this is exactly what is happening nowadays. People working in a different shift, different time zone, and overeating, resisting the urge also get, because when the body is developing and generating the fire, but when we don't eat, or we eat little bit energy bar because we are busy in the meeting and conference and anything, and then 3 o'clock we finish, then we go and we eat. No. So technically, if you see nowadays, we operate our body like a 7-Eleven. Anytime, 24 hours, we want to eat. So this will, then your agni will also don't figure out where to have your lunch time, where to have your dinner time. So we need to be aware, we need to develop a routine, and that's how we need to balance the agni. Okay. So now we talk about ama, because when the food is not digested, ama is called toxins or free radicals. Basically, it's undigested food, cannot find exit or lingering around uh, organs or maybe a system or stomach or different part of the body, and you will see a whitish yellow or white kind of color. You will see a thick mucus, and it won't find exit, and slowly it will build up, and it will create a difficulty to perform a particular organ or particular system. And then the ama is create a, 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 a very dangerous situation for us in a long term. So ideally, a healthy person, we have to focus that, make sure that in our body, ama is not developing or toxins is not developing. Or if it is developing, then we need to clear immediately. We need to be aware, because when you feel very lethargic, when you feel no feeling of doing it, and you see the physical changes, emotional changes, you immediately think that what I have eaten, what I have done changes in my lifestyle or my food habits, and accordingly we need to do it. And don't play around with the diet and everything. Focus on the simple diet and follow the exercise and be in the nature. And this is the very good way of just not accumulating too much of uh, ama. Also observe your urine, observe your sweat, observe your stool is very important, because that's where you will see that what is happening in your body. Traditionally, Ayurveda used to see the tongue, and you will see the Vata person, Pitta person, and Kapha person tongue, and you will see the white patch. It is there, it's creating, and you will find that if the ama is there on your tongue or not. So that's why the best way is to do a tongue cleaning. You know, when you do a cleaning, brushing your teeth morning, same time after brushing your teeth, you can have a tongue cleaning and clean your tongue. Using the tongue cleaner is the best. But if you do not have a tongue cleaner, you can use the spoon also, because spoon can go very deeper and then you can scratch your tongue. That's what I do sometimes if I don't have it. And you can use, lastly, nowadays the Oral-B and all, they have introduced this brush also. But yeah, spoon is the best I can find, because you can go anywhere and you can scratch it and you will see a big difference, you know. So try this simple exercise. You will feel the absorption is happens very nicely, very properly of whatever we eat. And that's where we get generate energy. If you ask me what are the common tips or common ingredients of generation of the energy, obviously the ghee, cow milk, uh, ghee, milk. Now when I say milk, is pure milk. But now where to get pure milk? And I think it's very difficult to get in unless you get a farmer's market, because in the name of milk nowadays there are different types of milk is available. Okay, the almond milk, soya milk. This is not milk coming from animal or human. Yeah, so we need to focus on the milk exactly and try to drink pure milk if possible. That has the more energy. Basmati rice, honey, dates, almonds, all nuts basically has the more nourishment and energy. And they are all vata pacifying, so you can keep it and when you travel, it's okay. But most importantly, there is no such thing. Now, this is what Ayurveda always says. You no need to intake anything to energize yourself. This is where the most of the corporate women or corporate people, they try to have a, the supplement. There is a whole supplement industry there to develop your immune system or get the energy. You don't need that. What you need is to relax yourself. Learn the art of relaxation, because we don't have enough sleep. No matter what we are intaking the supplement, it won't going to work. Laugh and smile a lot. Take time to relax. Meditate regularly. Spend time in nature. Exercise your creativity. Do whatever you like to do. If you like painting, cooking, just spend time in it. Follow your heart passion. You know, you do some social work or whatever you like it, and engage any yoga and physical activity. This is the simple thing you need to generate the energy, basically. And and when you do it in this way, automatically your immune system will go up. If you see sometimes even COVID-19 case, some people till today, if you see, there is no medicine is or vaccines is come up yet, but still people is getting recovered. Why? Because sometimes when you go in a quarantine, what you do? Doing nothing. You are relaxing. So majority time, if you know how to relax physically and you're emotionally and mentally, you will develop a lot of energy. You see the animal or little children when they are sick, they don't do any activity. They just sleep and relax. So you generate. Body has the power to do self-healing. So be in that and follow that way and develop your own energy from within. Okay. Next.
I think we are
Yeah.
at the end of the
So
talk.
yeah. So this is actually very interesting, Amita, that these are the simple principle and techniques we can appropriate, we can integrate in our life, make it aware. This common principle, we can do that. And I think we have a more programs and sophisticated long courses also available, and maybe Amita has more information with that. And today, thank you very much for, thanks Amita for having me here in your platform, and I enjoyed a lot, and always be there to share about Ayurveda, yoga or meditation anytime. So thank you very much.
Sure, sure. I want to open it up for any questions, if there are any questions. I guess, or what we will be doing is, if anyone is watching live on Facebook, we'll be coming back with the course that Prashant mentioned. He teaches a 20-hour class on how to incorporate simple lifestyle from Ayurveda and yoga. So we will be coming back in August timeframe. Anything else before we before we sign off, Prashant, that you'd like to say?
I think this is what I would like to share with the time we have allotted. And I mean, they can always approach you if they have any other questions or any kind of question, more information, and then we can make it from there. We can take it from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, and who are watching on FB. Please let us know your feedback. Let us know how we are doing, what kind of sessions you'd like to see. We are going to be bringing a lot of online classes or courses in the month of August. One of them is, of course, as I just said, on Ayurveda Dosha and Lifestyle from Prashant Patel, and a lot of other classes. So please let us know. Like us on Facebook. I have our email here, care@nourishtalk. So please feel free to reach out to me directly or reach out to us. I want to thank you, all of you, very much for joining us. Namaste.